Hey, I'm really glad you keep coming back. It's an encouragement to me, and I think that means that it must be doing something helpful to you. So that's an encouragement. And again, if it is, share it with other people. They need to be encouraged as well. We live in an angry world. We live in an anxious world. And if you look at any survey over the last several years, last decade especially, something very interesting is that the number 1, 2, or 3 current struggles, problems, and issues that teenagers and young adults have is very different than the decades before. Anxiety is now one of those very high issues on almost any ranking scale of what teenagers and young adults are dealing with. And that was not the case years ago. It's not that we didn't have anxiety, but it wasn't chronic and pervasive where people felt it to the level they do now. I'm sure that there's plenty of things that go into that. I'm sure that our cell phones are a huge part of that. The ability, the way that we're always plugged in, I'm sure has something to do with it. But whatever the cause, what we want to see is there a biblical cure for it? And so we have been unpacking Philippians chapter 4 through 9. The Apostle Paul wrote it while in prison, and eventually he's going to lose his life. So he's under a horrible dictatorship. Not even a dictatorship. He's under a wicked emperor that persecuted Christians and killed them like crazy. He's in jail and he's facing a beheading. And he writes a passage in Philippians 4 through 9 that helps explain how to remain, how to have the peace of Christ that passes all understanding in the midst of all of this. And so this week we're unpacking 5 different aspects of that passage. Yesterday we talked about how important it is to celebrate the goodness of God. Celebrate God's goodness as a regular part of your life. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Today is going to be one of those verses that you probably have never really paused to think about, but I think is incredibly powerful. Philippians chapter 4, verse 5 says, "Let your reasonableness be known to everyone." Now, other translations, I think the NIV says, "Let your gentleness be known to all men." All of that kind of goes in to paint this picture. What do we need to do to lower anxiety, to lower anger? Be kind and be calm. Be kind and be calm. This was a lesson that I really learned taking mission trips. I would take youth teams to inner city Baltimore year after year after year for a really long period of time. And we had the joy of working with a church called the Agape House in inner city Baltimore. A lot of the kids we worked with came from very broken homes. They lived often in violent neighborhoods. Many times they were missing a parental figure. Sometimes they were dead. Sometimes they were in prison. A lot of them had family members who had had bad run-ins with police officers. And so they're just what you saw is these poor kids lived in tension and they lived in stress and they were ready to rise up and fight any chance they got. And we're coming in as outsiders, just trying to run a vacation Bible school, trying to love on them, but you got to have rules, you got to have order. And so one of the things that we learned over time is whatever the situation, whatever anger that you're met with, instead of trying to meet power with power, instead of trying to show them that we're really in charge, our goal for our team was de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. So if somebody comes at you angry, you respond with calm. If somebody comes at you mean, you respond with kindness. And so what is Paul saying? Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. Well, if you're in an angry world, if you're in a stirred up world, if you're in a world where people profit from making people mad, you're going to absolutely stand out if you can be that calm figure, if you can be that kind figure. But the beauty is it doesn't just work to lower the tension of the situation. It actually works to lower the tension in your own life. If my mindset is winning and power and control, I get all cranked up. But if my mindset is de-escalate, lower the level, then the first thing I have to do is de-escalate myself. I can't be angry in roaring inside and come across as kind and calm. And so knowing that I'm representing Jesus, knowing that he's in control, knowing that all of this is temporary, then I want to be the guy that's kind and calm and that I'm reasonable. And so part of my reasonableness is I want to be able to see the other side. Even if I completely disagree, I want to be able to articulate what somebody else thinks. I want to have compassion for them. I want to have empathy for them, even if I disagree with what they're doing and why they're doing it, even if I completely disagree. I want my reasonableness to be known to all. I want my gentleness to be known to all. Now, being gentle is not being weak. Being gentle is not being girly instead of manly. And that's just silly. Being gentle, whether you're a guy or a girl, is often it's power under control. It's strength within boundaries. You make people feel safe by being kind and being calm. You model Jesus by doing that. And so I want to have people see Jesus in the way that I react to situations. And I want to have people see Jesus in the way that you react. And so as you look to lower the anger and anxiety in your life, one of those things is, can you look to be that instrument of kindness and calm when everybody else around you is stirred up? And if you'll ask the Lord to help you with this, I really think that he will. And there's all kinds of techniques that you'll learn along the way. But first and foremost is just remembering my role is to de-escalate, to win people to the Lord, not win an argument. And if you will have that mindset of winning people to the Lord instead of winning an argument, it'll start to change your insides. It'll start to change your own anxiety. And so that's what I want. I want you to be kind and calm because you are actually kind and calm. And it's going to take the power of Jesus for that to happen, but he wants it to happen in your life because he's told you to, and he will empower you for anything that he's commanded you to do. So today, be kind and be calm. Your parents tell you to do something, you don't want to do it, be kind and be calm. Your teacher gets mad at you, be kind and be calm. Your friend's freaking out, be kind and be calm. And let's see what the Lord does in our obedience to him.